Welcome to the new video Crypto Coin Today. We're diving deep into two fascinating classic American coins, the Liberty 1 cent pieces from 1940 and 1958. Small copper coins that many people overlook, yet they carry enormous historical weight, collector interest, and hidden value potential for modern numismatists. The story of these cents begins with the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design first introduced in 1909 and continued through the wheat cent era, making both the 1940 and 1958. D issues part of the famous Lincoln Wheat series that remains one of the most widely collected coin runs in American history. When you look at a 1941 cent coin, you are holding a piece struck at the start of a turbulent decade, just before the United States entered World War II, and these coins were produced in large numbers by the United States Mint using a bronze composition made primarily of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, giving the coin its distinctive warm reddish tone when preserved in higher grades. Collectors today carefully check the color designation, red, red-brown, or brown, because color alone can dramatically change value in the grading market. The 1940 cent typically shows Lincoln facing right with a motto, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date to the right, while the reverse displays the classic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent in United States of America. And serious collectors examine the sharpness of Lincoln's hair, beard lines, and the wheat stalk details to judge strike quality, since weak strikes can reduce desirability, even when wear is minimal. In circulated grades, a 1940 cent is common and affordable, but in uncirculated mint state grades, especially with full red luster and minimal contact marks, prices rise steadily, and top certified examples can command strong premiums, particularly those with exceptional eye appeal or proof-like surfaces. Era hunters also search for off-center strikes, die cracks, and double features, which can multiply value far beyond normal catalog prices. Moving forward to the 1958 D1 cent, we reached the final year of the wheat cent design before the reverse changed in 1959 to the Lincoln Memorial type, which makes the 1958 issues historically important as the closing chapter of a 50-year design era. The D mint mark indicates production at the Denver facility, and while mintages were very high, condition scarcity still plays a major role in pricing, because many examples entered circulation immediately and show wear today. The 1958 D cent keeps the same bronze composition and overall design layout, but advanced collectors pay close attention to luster bands, die polish lines, and rim sharpness, since late series wheat cents are often found with bag marks from bulk storage and transport, and cleaner coins stand out in certified holders. Another reason the 1958 D attract attention is the existence of rare double die varieties from 1958, most famously proofs without mint marks, which has caused renewed interest across all 1958 cents as collectors search rolls and inherited collections, hoping to discover an overlooked variety. For both the 1940 and 1958 D cents, grading is a key value driver. Coins in good or very fine condition are mainly historical keepsakes. Extremely fine examples show clearer wheat lines and hair detail and carry moderate premiums, while mint state coins graded MS65 and above with strong red color can be significantly more valuable, especially when authenticated and slabbed by major grading services. Storage also matters because copper reacts easily with moisture and air so experienced. Collectors recommend inert holders, low humidity environments, and minimal handling to preserve original surfaces. Another important factor is historical context and storytelling for your audience. The 1940 cent connects to the pre-war American economy and massive industrial buildup, while the 1958 D cent represents the end of the wheat reverse era and the transition toward modern coinage themes. So when viewers understand the timeline, they appreciate even common coins more deeply and are more motivated to check dates, mint marks, and varieties in their own jars and albums. In the collector market, full original red specimens, well-struck examples with minimal spotting, and coins with documented provenance consistently outperform average pieces. And even though these cents were produced in the hundreds of millions, condition rarity means truly superb examples are far scarcer than mintage numbers suggest. That's why roll searching, estate collection reviews, and cherry-picking certified populations remain popular strategies among hobbyists. So whether you are a beginner coin hunter or an advanced variety specialist, the Liberty 1 cent coins of 1940 and 1958 offer a perfect blend of affordability, history, and upgrade challenge, encouraging collectors to study strike quality, color preservation, mint marks, and error diagnostics. And they prove that even the smallest denomination in American coinage can deliver big educational and collectible rewards when examined closely and appreciated in its full historical and numismatic context. Step 1. The 1940 Liberty 1 cent coin from the United States of America, commonly known as the 1940 Lincoln cent, is one of those fascinating coins that quietly sits in many collections yet carries deep historical value and collector interest when you look closely. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 and features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that marked the first time a real historical figure appeared on regular U.S. circulating coinage. The 1940 issue was produced by the United States Mint during a time when the United States was emerging from a Great Depression and standing on the edge of global conflict that would soon become World War II, and every coin from this period reflects that important transitional era in American history through its metal composition, minting quality, and circulation patterns. The obverse design shows Lincoln facing right with the inscriptions, "I in God, we trust above," Liberty to the left, and the date 1940 to the right. And although many people casually call it a Liberty 1 cent, the Liberty wording is actually part of the standard inscription rather than the coin's official series name, yet it remains a popular collector phrase. On the reverse, the 1940 cent features a classic wheat ears design, often called a wheat penny reverse, with two curved wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto E Pluribus Unum at the top. And this wheat design ran from 1909 through 1958 before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. The 1940 cent is composed primarily of copper, specifically a bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that rich reddish-brown appearance when found in uncirculated condition, though most examples seen today range from red-brown to dark brown due to oxidation over decades of handling and storage. In 1940, cents were struck at 3 different mint facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, creating 3 main varieties for collectors. The 1940 with no mint mark from Philadelphia, the 1940D from Denver, and the 1940S from San Francisco. And understanding mint marks is essential for viewers who want to learn how small letters on coins can significantly change collector value and rarity. The Philadelphia issue typically has the highest mintage, meaning it is the most common in circulated grades, while the Denver and San Francisco issues generally have lower mintages and can be slightly more desirable in higher grades, especially with strong strike quality and original red color. When discussing a 1940 cent in collector terms, condition is everything, and grading ranges from heavily worn good and very good examples, where Lincoln's portrait is smooth and the wheat lines are faint, up through fine and extremely fine coins where more hair detail and wheat grain lines are visible, all the way to about uncirculated and mint state coins that show little to no wear and retain much of their original mint luster. For a long-form collector guide, it's important to explain how mint luster appears as a soft cartwheel shine when the coin is tilted under light, and how original red color, labeled as RD in grading services, usually commands a premium over red-brown, RB, and brown BN, examples of the same grade. Another key part of a deep dive into the 1940 Liberty 1 cent is error and variety collecting, because even common-date wheat cents can become exciting and valuable when they display mint errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, repunch mint marks, clip planchets, or lamination errors. And careful viewers should be encouraged to examine their coins with a magnifying glass or microscope to look for unusual letter doubling, date thickness, or misalignment. While most famous double die cents are from other years, minor doubling and die chips can still be found on 1940 cents and can add collector interest and sometimes modest premiums. The strike quality of 1940 cents can vary, and some pieces show weak detail in Lincoln's hair or the wheat lines due to die wear, while sharply struck examples with crisp lettering and bold wheat stalk lines are more desirable, especially in certified mint state holders from major grading services. Storage and preservation also play a major role in value, and a long educational script should stress that copper coins are sensitive to moisture, fingerprints, and environmental contaminants. So collectors should store 1940 cents in dry holders, archival flips, or albums designed for cents, and always handle them by the edges to avoid oils from skin causing spots or discoloration. Market value for a typical circulated 1940 cent is usually modest, making an accessible entry point for new collectors, but high-grade uncirculated red examples or dramatic error coins can be worth significantly more, which teaches an important lesson that even common coins can become valuable when condition and rarity factors combine. Historical context adds depth to the story. Because coins from 1940 circulated through a population preparing for wartime rationing and industrial expansion, and many of these cents passed through countless hands in everyday commerce, from grocery stores to factory payrolls, creating a tangible connection between modern collectors and everyday Americans of that era. A strong 50-minute style narrative can also guide viewers on how to build a date-and-mint set of wheat cents, using the 1940 issues as affordable anchor points, explaining how collectors often aim to acquire each year and mint mark combination, then upgrade condition over time as better examples are found. Viewers should also learn how to read coin auction listings, how to compare graded populations, and how eye appeal, color, strike, and surface quality can matter just as much as a technical grade number. Another useful segment is teaching how to authenticate coins, noting that while 1940 cents are rarely counterfeited due to low base value, altered dates and mint marks do exist in the broader wheat cent series, so knowledge in comparison with verified examples is always helpful. You can expand further by explaining how the Lincoln cent design has evolved over time, from the wheat reverse to the memorial reverse and later shield reverse, helping viewers understand where the 1940 coin fits within the full design timeline, and why many collectors feel the wheat reverse is the most classic and artistic. The educational journey can also include how to search bankrolls and old jars for wheat cents, what signs of cleaning to avoid, such as unnatural brightness or hairline scratches, and why clean coins typically lose collector value even if they look shiny at first glance. By the end of a detailed exploration, viewers should understand that the 1940 Liberty 1 cent is more than just a small copper coin. It is a historical artifact, a teaching tool for grading and mint marks, a gateway into error hunting, and a practical starting point for anyone entering U.S. coin collecting, proving that even the most humble denomination can open the door to a rich and rewarding hobby when studied with patience and attention to detail. Step to last step, the Liberty 1 cent 1958. D from the United States of America is one of the most talked about wheat pennies among coin collectors because it represents the final chapter of the famous wheat cent design that had been in circulation since 1909. And when you hold this small copper coin in your hand, you are actually touching the closing moment of nearly half a century of American coinage history, as the wheat reverse design will be replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial reverse, making the 1958, and especially the 1958, the issues extremely popular with collectors who enjoy end-of-type coins. And this year is particularly interesting because of its massive production numbers combined with few rare and valuable varieties that have sold for astonishing prices at auctions, which keeps excitement alive in the numismatic community even today. Because while millions of ordinary examples exist and can still be found in circulated condition, the real story that makes this coin famous is tied to condition rarity and the legendary double-die variety that has reached record-breaking values. The obverse of the 1958, D Liberty 1 cent, features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty to the left, the date 1958, and the small D mint mark below it indicating it was struck at the Denver facility of the United States Mint, along with the national motto, "I in God we trust," above Lincoln's head. And collectors carefully study the sharpness of Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat lines to judge the strike quality, because Denver strikes from the late wheat cent era can range from soft to very crisp depending on die, wear, and press pressure, while the reverse shows the iconic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America with a pluribus unum across the top. And this balanced, agricultural-themed design is why the coin is often called the wheat penny, a nickname that is more widely recognized among hobbyists than its formal type name. And when discussing the 1958 D specifically, mintage figures are very high, over 800 million pieces, meaning that in lower grades a coin is common and affordable, often worth only a small premium over face value or copper value. But condition changes everything. because uncirculated examples with blazing original red luster, known as red or RD by grading services, can command significantly higher prices, especially in gem grades like MS65 and above, where tiny differences in contact marks, luster quality, and color preservation can multiply value many times over. And serious collectors often search bankrolls and old collections hoping to find a well-preserved example that was stored away decades ago, untouched by circulation wear. And color is critical with copper coins from this era, because they naturally tone from bright red to brown over time due to oxidation. So a fully red 1958 D cent with smooth surfaces and minimal spotting is much more desirable than a dull brown example. And grading services evaluate these coins not only on wear, but also on eye appeal, strike sharpness, and surface preservation. And one of the most exciting aspects of the 1958 Lincoln cent story is the existence of the extremely rare 1958 double die obverse variety, which shows strong doubling on the lettering and date. And although most known examples are from the Philadelphia issue without a mint mark, the fame of that variety has drawn huge attention to all 1958 cents, including the Denver mint version, leading many collectors to examine their coins closely with magnification, looking for signs of doubling, repunch mint marks, die chips, or other mint errors, because error in variety collecting has become one of the fastest growing areas of numismatics. And even small anomalies like die cracks or cuds can add collector interest and modest premiums. And when building a Lincoln cent set by date and mint mark, the 1958 D is an essential slot that completes the wheat reverse era, making it emotionally satisfying for collectors to place it just before the 1959 Memorial Cent in an album, visually marking the design transition. And historically, this period in the late 1950s reflects a booming post-war American economy with heavy coin production to support expanding commerce, vending machines, and everyday cash transactions, which explains the huge mintage numbers. Yet despite being common in circulated grades, top population certified examples in superb gem condition with flawless red color can still sell for strong prices because registry set collectors compete for the finest known pieces, and this competition at the high end of the grading scale is what turns an otherwise common coin into a four-figure collectible, and storage plays a major role in preserving value, since copper cents should be kept in dry, inert holders away from humidity and contaminants to prevent spotting and discoloration, and experienced collectors recommend archival, flips, or certified slabs rather than PVC plastics. And another interesting angle for a 1958 D Liberty Cent video is roll hunting, where enthusiasts search through bank-wrapped rolls or old hoards hoping to find high-grade survivors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other mint errors, turning the hunt itself into part of the entertainment and education of the hobby, and teaching viewers how to check mint marks, evaluate wear on Lincoln's cheek and jaw, judge luster by tilting the coin under light, and separate red from red, brown, and brown examples gives practical value to the audience. And you can also discuss how copper prices have influenced the melting value of pre-1982 cents, since these coins are mostly copper rather than zinc, which adds another layer of interest even though melting circulating cents is restricted by regulation. And from a storytelling perspective, the 1958 D Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of how an everyday object used for small purchases, newspapers, candy, bus fare, can later become a collectible artifact studied, graded, and traded worldwide. And reminding viewers that valuable coins are often hiding in plain sight encourages engagement and repeat viewing, because the dream of finding a rare variety or superb condition coin in ordinary change keeps the hobby alive. And by the end of the video, viewers should understand the design details, historical context, grading factors, rarity versus condition variety potential, and collective demand surrounding the 1958 D Wheat cent, seeing it not just as a 1 cent coin, but as a final year symbol of a classic American coin design era and a gateway piece for anyone starting a serious Lincoln cent collection.